Albert Breer, Sports Illustrated, 3 words that set Hollis Hall on fire this week. Give me the Bears. Someone asked one of the most respected insiders in the NFL where Cam Jordan lands in 2026. 8 Pro Bowls, 15 years wrecking quarterbacks, and Breer pointed straight at Chicago. No hesitation. In a minute, I'm going to break down exactly why this signing could be Ryan Poles' best move of the entire offseason. But I'm also going to tell you why there's one detail in that contract that genuinely worries me, and why if Poles doesn't handle it right, Chicago is going to regret this before training camp even starts. And that's just the beginning, because there's a 26-year-old pass rusher down in Tampa Bay, top 6 in pressure rate across the entire NFL, who might be available in a trade that nobody in the Windy City is talking about yet. And to close it all out, there's a running back who spent 3 seasons in Navy and Orange and who, according to Bleacher Report, might be living his final weeks as a Chicago Bear. Monsters of the Midway. Stay right here, because today everything in Chicago is shifting. Let's establish the context first, because this analysis needs it. The Chicago Bears finished the 2025 season with the most concerning edge rusher room in the entire NFC. 31st in pass rush win rate, 26th in run stop win rate, outside of Montez Sweat, who is a legitimate all-pro and the best pass rusher on this team without any argument. The Bears' outside group is basically Dio, Odeyingbo, and Austin Booker, praying they take a leap that nobody has seen yet. That is not an attack plan, that is blind faith. And in the NFL, blind faith sends you home in January. So when Albert Breer from Sports Illustrated, one of the most respected insiders covering this league, says in his mailbag that Cam Jordan lands in Chicago, I don't dismiss it, I analyze it. And when I analyze it, I find that the prediction has way more logic behind it than it looks at first glance. Let's talk about the player first. Cam Jordan is 36 years old. And I already know what you're thinking. Bro, 36 on an edge rusher is dinosaur territory. Listen to me, in 2025, with the New Orleans Saints, this man posted 10.5 sacks, 36 pressures, and 17 starts as a full-time starter, a PFF run defense grade of 82.1. Man, that run defense number is not the grade of a player in decline. That's a player who has turned 15 years of technical experience into an advantage that young guys simply don't have yet. You know what an 82.1 PFF run defense grade means for an edge rusher? That's top tier. That's the guy who understands leverage, who reads the backfield before the snap, who is not going to get moved off his point of attack by a 300-pound guard. That doesn't disappear with age. That accumulates with age. And Jordan's versatility is what interests me most from a tactical standpoint. This man can line up on the outside as a classic edge. He can kick inside on passing downs and become an interior pass rusher. That gives Dennis Allen disguise options that simply do not exist on this roster right now. Picture Sweat on one side generating pure speed pressure, Jordan on the other side filling the power rusher role with elite technique and the ability to mix them situationally based on down and distance. That's a defense that opposing quarterbacks have to study. Right now, the Bears are predictable on the rush. With Jordan, they stop being predictable. Now let's talk about Dennis Allen, because that is the real heart of this story. Allen was the head coach of the New Orleans Saints for most of Cam Jordan's career in New Orleans. These two men don't know each other from a combine introduction. They know each other from the locker room, from the whiteboard, from training camp, from failed playoff runs and rebuilding seasons. Allen knows exactly what Jordan can do. He knows when he's locked in and when he's not. He knows how to use him, how to motivate him, how to get the most out of him in a specific role. That is an installation shortcut that teams don't buy in free agency normally, but in this case, it comes included in the package. The cost? Spot Rack Projects, a 1-year deal worth $6.8 million. The Bears have $11 million in available cap space. That fits. Not with a ton of room, but it fits. Now, we have to be honest about what Allen himself already said. The coordinator stated that there haven't been many discussions about the possibility of signing Jordan, and that matters. I'm not going to ignore it just to make this video more exciting than it actually is. But you also have to understand that not many discussions in NFL language means exactly that. Not many, not none. And at this point on the calendar, with training camp still far away, not many discussions is completely normal. What I find more significant is what Breer chose to write publicly. This man does not throw predictions around randomly. He has sources, he has context, and when someone at his level points at the Bears for Jordan specifically, there is something behind that instinct that we can't see yet. Is he going to be 2017 Cam Jordan? No. Is he going to arrive in Chicago and dominate 18 games like he's 28 years old? I'm not expecting that either, but as the second starting edge opposite Sweat, as the veteran who gives you 10 sacks, elite run defense, locker room leadership for a young defensive group, and internal knowledge of Allen's system from day one, there is no better option available in free agency right now. And the leadership piece is not a minor detail. The Bears have a young defense, they have talent in Sweat, they have potential in Booker, they have pieces that are still learning how the NFL works at the professional level. A 15-year veteran who already won a Super Bowl, who went to 8 Pro Bowls, who has played in January when things actually matter, that guy changes the culture of a weight room in a way that doesn't show up in any PFF statistic. Ryan Poles has $11 million in cap space, 6.8 go to Cam Jordan, 4.2 left to work with. That's a tight financial puzzle. I'm not going to pretend otherwise, but if Poles can structure the contract with incentives and spread the cap hit intelligently, which this front office has shown it knows how to do, the Bears have to make that call. And if they don't make it and Chicago's defense finishes 2026 with the same outside problem it had in 2025, we are going to remember this moment. We are going to remember that the man who knows Dennis Allen's system better than anyone was available for less than $7 million, and the Bears let him walk somewhere else. Bear down, Poles. Dial that number at each Jets. All right, while we're processing the possibility of Jordan in navy and orange, there's another name on the market that has me just as fired up, and this one involves a trade that Ryan Poles should be studying right now. Yaya Diaby, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 26 years old, 6'4", 270 pounds, 3 consecutive NFL seasons with at least 4.5 sacks. And what catches my attention most, 17 games played, 17 games played, 17 games played, 3 complete seasons without missing a single game. Fam, at a position where injuries destroy careers, that durability is pure gold. In 2025, Diaby finished 6th in pressure rate among all pass rushers with at least 350 pass rush snaps. 62 total pressures on the season, 43 hurries, 10 hits, 16.3% pressure rate. Those are numbers from an outside rush that actually works. And tactically, Diaby fits perfectly with what Dennis Allen wants in his edge rushers. He's not a finesse rusher who depends on pure speed. He's a trenches worker who understands leverage, who can generate pressure with technique when speed alone isn't enough, and who has the real size to avoid being pushed outside the pocket by first-level tackles. The financial cost is manageable. $3.9 million in cap hit for 2026 with $11 million available. That doesn't blow the budget. The trade price would probably be a day 2 selection, a 2nd or 3rd round pick, maybe with a 6th or 7th rounder attached. Now the big question, would the Buccaneers be open to moving him? Here's the real situation in Tampa. The Bucs have $41.7 million projected in cap space for 2027. They have the money to extend Diaby if they want to, and publicly, they see him as the next captain of their defense following Lavonte David's retirement. Diaby himself said it just a few weeks ago. They also drafted Reuben Bain Jr. in the 1st round this year, which in theory deepens their pass rush group. So right now, Tampa is not looking to move Diaby. The scenario that changes everything is one specific situation. If extension negotiations stall, if Diaby and the Bucs can't agree on the number, the player could request the trade himself. And at that exact moment, Ryan Poles needs to be the first person on the phone with Jason Licht. Look, I could be wrong about the timing of all this. I don't have a direct line into Tampa's negotiation room. But the elements are there. The contract situation, the Bears' need, the tactical fit, the reasonable price. If this trade opens up, Chicago cannot let it pass. And to close the loop on the Bears roster situation this week, there's a story that hurts to tell but needs to be told. Rashawn Johnson is on the bubble. Mo Moten from Bleacher Report named him the Bears player most likely to get cut before the start of the 2026 season. And when you look at the numbers, It's hard to argue against it. Johnson came in through the 2023 draft with all the potential in the world. A physical power back out of Texas, a reliable receiver, 6 touchdowns in 2024, proving he knows how to find the end zone from the red zone. But the arrival of Kyle Monangai changed everything. The 7th-round rookie earned the RB2 role in 2025, and Johnson finished the season with 4 offensive snaps, 102 on special teams. Now he's in the final year of his $4.6 million contract. He's the RB3 on a backfield where Ben Johnson has everything he needs with DeAndre Swift and Monangai, and new competition is arriving, undrafted Coleman Bennett. Britton Brown still on the roster if the Bears cut him, and it looks like a matter of when, not if. Dallas and Green Bay are the most likely destinations, according to Sporting News. The Cowboys and Packers both have questions behind their starters, and a power back with Johnson's profile would fit well in either system. At 25 years old, Roshan Johnson deserves a real opportunity somewhere. Chicago just can't give it to him anymore. The 2026 Chicago Bears are being built piece by piece. Caleb Williams with a full year inside Ben Johnson's system. Luther Burden ready to explode with DJ Moore out of the picture. A defense that led the entire NFL in takeaways, looking to become more consistent. But the piece this team is still missing is on the outside pass rush, and Ryan Poles has 2 real options on the table right now, Cam Jordan or Yaya Diaby. Or both. Y'all don't understand how much this defensive front matters for what Caleb Williams and this offense are trying to build. You don't win in January with a secondary that has to cover for 6 seconds because nobody can get home off the edge. Fam, tell me down below. Do you sign Cam Jordan? Do you go after the Diaby trade? Or do you push for both? Because I've got my answer and I want to hear yours. And if this breakdown fired you up the same way it fired me up, you already know what to do. Hit that like. It takes 2 seconds and it means more than you think. We'll see you in the next one. Bear down, Chicago.